Hi and welcome along to Arsenal Fan Zones, the show that brings you the latest updates as it concerns Arsenal. If you're visiting this channel for the first time, please do well to hit on the subscribe button and do not forget to turn on your notification bell so you get to be notified whenever there's a new video. Alright, so it will be another London derby as Arsenal welcomes Fulham to the Emirates Stadium on Saturday looking for another win. Just 5 days on from a hard-fought 1-0 win at Crystal Palace, the Gunners will hope for an easy ride against a team struggling at both ends of the pitch. After thrashing a miserable Everton side on the opening day of the season, Fulham could not maintain the streak at home as visiting Brentford beat them convincingly by 3-0. They are currently in 13th place in the Premier League standings, and it must be said that they have not been at their best so far this season. Arsenal, on the other hand, are in 3rd place in the Premier League at the moment and have been fairly impressive this season. Following the disappointment of last season's 2nd place finish, Arsenal have overcome 2 stubborn opponents to approach Saturday's tussle with Fulham with a perfect record. Arteta will certainly eye another win to keep the team's 100% record intact, and of course, they will want to use this clash to apply pressure on Manchester City by taking the lead on the table and preparing well for their big clash next weekend against Manchester United. The club can easily boast of an excellent squad at their disposal and will be serious on giving Manchester City a run for their money yet again this season, but they will certainly win matches like this if they must be champions. Well, although Arsenal were made to work for their 1-0 win at Selhurst Park on Monday, with Palace unable to respond to Martin Odegaard's penalty despite Takeru Tomiyasu's being sent off, fans will expect to see a more free-flowing iteration of our Arteta's side. It is also expected that many goals will be scored in today's game, as the statistics shows that since the start of last season or the start of the year, 81 Premier League goals have been scored at the Emirates Stadium, 55 for Arsenal, 26 conceded, giving it the highest goals per game ratio of any top flight venue in that time. Now, within the week, fans received cheering news that top striker Gabriel Jesus resumed training with other members of the squad after undergoing a minor knee operation that caused him to miss the Community Shield win over Manchester City, as well as the 2 Premier League games against Nottingham Forest and Crystal Palace. The Brazilian was back in full training on Thursday, and there were some encouraging signs from the session. He is definitely not expected to start the game against Fulham, but may likely get a seat on the bench. Well, looking at the team news for the game, Arsenal may not have fresh injury concerns after the Crystal Palace win, but there are a few potential returnees ahead of the Fulham game. First of all, Gabriel Jesus returned to training this week, but there are low chances of Mikel Arteta involving the Brazilian against Fulham in any capacity. Well, we'll also start up in defense where Arsenal will be without Takeru Tomiyasu after his red card against Crystal Palace, meaning we will finally see Gabriel Magalhaes start a game after starting the last 2 on the bench. Arteta could also call upon the services of Alexander Zinchenko after he returned to action on Monday night following a lengthy layoff. Well, meanwhile, if Zinchenko comes in, Gabriel Magalhaes could line up alongside William Saliba in the centre-back. And of course, Ben White will assume his customary right-back role with the other parts of the team intact. However, there is a possibility Arteta might go with Havertz over Nketiah for the striker's role. Okay, so on the other hand, Fulham will be without club captain Tim Real, who is suspended after his dismissal in the defeat by Brentford. Well, it's also expected that ex-Arsenal winger William should be a doubt to face his former club with an Achilles problem. But João Paulinho cold start after his comeback from injury as a substitute last week. It will be difficult for Marco Silva's side getting anything from this clash, and the departure of Alexander Mitrovic, who will certainly be their biggest miss for today's game, will affect their style of play. So guys, I don't know what you think about today's game. Will Arsenal continue its winning streak against Fulham? I'd love for you to leave your possible score lines in the game as well. And of course, you have Gabriel who has scored 3 times in his last 4 games against Fulham. Will that scoring streak also continue in today's game? I'd like for you to leave your views in the comment section. And there are other news making the rounds about a couple of players leaving the club, and just maybe we might have 1 or 2 players joining the team before the end of the season. Leave all of that in the comment section, and do not forget to like this video, share and subscribe. Thanks a lot for joining me on the show, and I'll see you some other time.